Hello, how are you all doing? I'm back. I'm back from my holidays, although you may not even know that I went for my holidays, but I did. I did leave a little community tab, but I know not everyone looks at them. But yeah, I am in fact back. So this is current time, and I'm going to be ringing through some things as long as it's like up to date-ish, because there's no point in me just like dragging out topics if we've already heard people cover them about 500 million times, yeah? Danielle Walters, I'm really sorry if you're not interested in like the green card fiasco that is going on over there with Danielle Walters. Of course, I say very alleged because, like, I don't know if I necessarily believe that, but this is what a lot of people are saying. She is the girl who did that 21-part series of her finding, like, her true love, who's called Lucas, okay? The Instacar Uber driver slash personal trainer slash TikTok life coach guy. I don't know. They might even need their own playlist at this point. But more stuff has happened because we've actually been shown their proposal. We have gone through the People article. The ring, okay. The ring was actually from Dallas. It was from like Dallas Diamond Bar. It's one of those like lab grown diamonds, which by the way, I'm not against lab grown diamonds whatsoever. But yeah, it was very much like a paid partnership. The fact that they got engaged at the Ritz-Carlton, which we did discover in my last video. The Ritz-Carlton does actually run like paid promotional influencer content. So yeah, you can like sign up and then you'll get gifted things for exposure of the Ritz-Carlton. So we did kind of find that out. Yeah, I mean, it's very, very, very obvious that Danielle has been fronting a lot of this. Was this like a surprise? Hell no, absolutely not.
Okay, I'm about to get engaged. We did it. I'm really happy. I can't believe this is happening.
So she's acting all surprised and it's like, Well, now she's actually come out and shared the engagement video.
Moment was prepared by God from the first smile to yesterday. We are doing this, and we chose doing this place because here you can see how beautiful God is.
We have actually got quite a lot to get through in this video, not to mention the fact that I was sent this post from Reddit where this girl is coming forward and she's just like, yeah, he was my I'm assuming Uber driver at this point, and he tried like hitting on her while she was in the car and like messaged her after and all of this kind of stuff. And there's this huge sneaky suspicion that this is actually like how he used to pick up women in the past. And I'm sharing this because I cannot stand the types of guys that do this. Like it happened to me once. I had to literally ring up the taxi firm because this particular taxi driver just kept on like out of hours, just kept on like ringing me and then not saying anything on the phone, and it was like so freaky because he picked me up from my house to take me to work. So I was freaking out. I was like 18 at the time. It was a whole mess. And ever since then, I literally think that this is so predatory. This is like really quite predatory and really quite dangerous. So we're going to go through that because people are literally speculating like what happens if they didn't meet at the gym? What happens if this is actually how they met because he was her Uber driver?
You gave us to each other, God, and I'm just so grateful, and I just want to honor and glory you, Lord. What happened without faith, without you, God? We just want to keep you at the center.
Yes.
Root us, God. Plant us, ground us. Pull us constantly to you. Let us see you in everything.
And the engagement video was quite something. I feel like a lot of people have analysed this video. But we had the drone shots. We had them all mic'd up. They were wearing microphones. They were wearing microphones to their own engagement. Lucas also said, "Will you be my bride and my baby?" which a lot of people are criticizing because they just do not understand like why he didn't say, "Will you be my wife?" kind of thing. Like, do you know? And she did look a little bit like she was having to like coax him to say, "Will you marry me?" kind of thing.
Oh my gosh.
How are you doing?
Is this real?
Yes, this is real.
Oh my God.
Will you be my bride, my baby? Yes, will you marry me?
To be honest with you, that could very well just be like broken English, because we know that English is not his first language. That could be a very big possibility. But people had a lot to say about it. She since has come out and she has been talking about how she and Lucas wanted to remain in their bubble for just a little while longer, whilst simultaneously selling the story to people, doing like a mic'd up proposal, and they have just been releasing like their engagement shots.
I have been really slow to, I'm like hiding it. I've been really slow to post engagement content, partially because I've never done this before and I didn't know how involved everything is, and it's quite overwhelming, and I honestly wanted to take a week to just be in our bubble and enjoy that before really me starting to post stuff. But then since I started to post, it felt really big and like a lot. So I've been taking my time and going as fast as I feel comfortable.
But whatever, I can say whatever I want, but let's look at what people had to say about this engagement. Someone said, I wasn't going to say anything because if you are happy, then nothing else matters. But this was obviously planned and thought out and produced, and that's all he brought. Will you be my bride, my baby? You said something under your breath, and then he said, yes, will you marry me? Did you have to prompt him? Did he not say what you had rehearsed? It just feels like a bad production of a moment that will hopefully be once in a lifetime. Anyway, congratulations. Someone said, imagine being mic'd up for your proposal. Someone else said, genuinely asking, are you wearing mics? Yeah. Because this is the bit that, like, obviously, I mean, even like celebrities don't be doing this, of any that I can think of recent time. I've said it once and I'll say it again. How real and genuine can something actually be if it's all for show, if it's all for entertainment? I really struggle to believe, because there is a really fine line, there's a really fine balance in all of this, and I feel like we are just tipping over the edge again and again and again with this. And once again, I think that in the end, she's the one that's going to get really, really, really hurt by this. I've got nothing against Danielle at all. I just have everything feelings towards this particular setup, because they've set it up as entertainment, therefore I'm going to view it as entertainment. To me, it's like reality TV. You're wearing microphones. You might as well be on Love Island, you know what I mean? Like, this is how I'm viewing it.
Who would do something like this for me?
I love you.
I know you too.
The minute I saw those microphones, I was like, nah. And on Instagram, it doesn't get any better, because usually on her Insta, it's a bit better on her Instagram. She does have people that are less sort of snarky. Someone said, I'm very underwhelmed by his proposal. Yes, it was beautiful, but he didn't say anything about her or that he loves her. Nothing, just the question. Someone said, the proposal you planned and controlled and got paid for. Yeah. Someone else said, he gets citizenship and a spike in his social media and income. She gets content for a couple years based on a marriage arc, a troubled relationship arc, then breakup arc, and then the her coming back better than ever arc. Fair deal and pure cinema. This is it. This is it. I'm not sitting here like feeding off people like negativity. I'm not doing that. But when you put it like that, that's really how it comes across. The minute I saw that in people, I was like, right, gloves are off on this one. I'm sitting down to watch my favourite show. What the hell's happening on this episode? Because I don't know what his end goal is. I've got no idea. But what I do know is that in the past, he has been, and when I say in the past, I mean like within weeks of actually meeting Danielle, his like method of picking up women was to basically like have them in his car and then ask for their socials and then message them after. So of course, you've got to take every single thing that you read on the internet with like a pinch of salt. But I'm kind of inclined to believe this one. This does not look edited to me. This looks like the real freaking deal, okay? So someone said he was my Uber driver. They said, I feel sort of bad posting this because it's like exposing someone, but it's just context, so hopefully it's okay. Let me know if I should delete this. But yeah, he was my Uber driver. He was talkative and flirty and asked for my Instagram and my number, so I gave it to him because I was literally in a car with him with my life in his hands. You know, as we sometimes have to do as women. But here are screenshots. I never replied because I got culty, hippie, RFK loving vibes, which is also why I did not tip. Feel free to ask questions. By the way, I didn't blur the addresses because it was all public places I was going to coming from. Okay, so here is her coming and going. Uber driver with Luke. And then Lucas Alcantara, in fact, when he had 4.1k followers at the time, he messaged her and said, want to come for a coffee by Pacifica this week. Now, what people were pointing out in the comment section is that actually this is a little way away from where he like allegedly lives anyway. Now, of course, I'm not from the San Francisco area. I have no idea about geographics, but people were saying that, yeah, this is like a little while away, and that how interesting would it be if he was actually talking to Danielle like at the time, but he didn't want her to like know that he was talking to other women by like picking a place that was really far away. I don't know. Once again, I think that's a little bit more speculation, but what I can see is really concerning because you do not know this woman. I really do. I have a very strong dislike towards men using this as their method for picking up women because you already have their number through doing like Ubering. You already have them in your car. You can very like if you turn around and went, actually no, I don't want to give you my thing. You could lie and say that like you don't have Instagram. It's really hard nowadays to be like, oh, I don't have any social media, because most people do. Like if you feel backed into a corner, and even if he didn't get the Instagram, then he's still got the phone number. Like I say, it has happened to me, and it was really freaking creepy. At the time, I was working like a short drive away. You could walk there, but I had to do like really early morning shifts. So sometimes I would get a taxi there and then walk back. And at the time, I got picked up by this guy, this like older man, and I just remember like afterwards he kept on randomly ringing me and then on an unknown number and then just like breathing down the phone. And I remember being so freaked out by the whole thing, and I was like, it went on for like a couple of days, and I was trying to like rack my head around who this could be before I eventually figured out it was like a taxi. It was a guy from a taxi service. So I rang up the company and complained, and yeah, they dealt with it. Obviously I was like blocking numbers, but they just like kept on reappearing. So yeah, that really freaked me out because they knew where I lived and it was so like honestly and I was not being flirty, I was not being anything. I was literally 6:45 in the morning driving to work. I was giving no signs that I wanted to talk to this man in any romantic sense whatsoever, but they will still push it. Honestly, was not fun. So anyone who does this, there's a lot of speculation that actually how they met was not via the gym. It was actually because him doing this, like this little method that he does for picking up women, he tried it on Danielle and it actually worked. Obviously don't know if that's true, no idea, but who knows. She says that they met because their eyes were like lingering at the gym. Who knows? We don't have proof of it, so who knows.
Just got asked out at the gym. You're not gonna believe this. He's Brazilian. He is an ex-engineer / model.
The only proof we do have is her walking out of a building and saying that she'd like locked eyes with someone, but she could be just saying that as like a cover-up because she doesn't want it. Like, she doesn't want people thinking that this is like how she found, because there is a lot of bad stigma around it because, you don't know these people. You don't know these people, and they're also using their position as your driver. They're using that to their own advantage because they know that it's not a situation you can get out of very easily. So Danielle has made it quite clear that she doesn't want this time to turn out like her 21-part docu-series, okay? She doesn't want it to turn out like that. And in actual fact, she and Lucas are like in a little bubble.
Okay, back to engagement content. So it's all coming. And I've been, since the docu-series, I've been very treading lightly to not replicate that. Like, I'm aware, okay? But I think there's a line to walk as being on social media of sharing things versus like shoving it down your throat. Anyway, I've just been taking my time. I wanted to let you know that like I am excited to share this with you. It was beautiful. I feel so happy.
I don't know. I think that bubble got popped a little while ago. To be honest, I do give her a lot of credit because she does get a lot of flack for doing this and for putting out this content. Like, it can't be easy on your self-esteem, just constantly having people being like, you're in a fake relationship, you're this, you're that. Fair to her, she is really, really pushing through. She has got a assistant at the minute. She has just said that she has got an assistant. Look, she probably has like 1,000,001 different like brand deals coming out, and she has like partnerships with like Bloom, and then she had one the other day with like that drink. Her and Lucas were like preparing to like go on a hike, and she was like drinking this whatever drink, preparing for her hike or whatever. So she does do pretty well in sponsorships, and she has said for like such a long time now that she's really lacking in creativity.
Today she started, and I'm so excited. I already feel like the weight is being taken off of me, of what usually gets me in a creative funk or kind of spiraling. Something we talked about today was sometimes I feel overwhelmed with like what I'm gonna post or how I want to create or who I want to be and show up as I go into the new phases of my life, and somehow honoring the homage and creative heart behind where I started, which was a big sister advice, but also taking you guys through like life events and sharing that with you. And we had such a good creative brainstorm. I already feel, it's so funny because I already feel like I thought we were going to start like very, very part-time. And I'm like, but I could get so much more done with more, if we do more hours.
And whenever I hear creators going on about this, I just think like that is like your number one job. And this may sound really like bitchy. Just please bear with me. Like, especially if you're a lifestyle vlogger, then obviously you have to make your life interesting, and it's a bit of a nightmare. Whereas like if you're a creative, like I do commentary, so I'm thinking about things I need to talk about or whatnot, what stuff would interest you, what stuff interests me. That's all like parts of creativeness. But when you're literally just like, I have to hire someone separate to come in and to give me creative ideas, I'm like, but that is literally like that's literally like your job. It's like when people get like researchers in and they have a channel which is like solely run on talking about topics, and they then get researchers in. I'm just a little bit like, but is that not just like part of the job where like you go away and you like go and find out information and you like share it? Is that not like part of the fun of the job? Otherwise you're just being a news reporter, you're just like reading off a teleprompt. Anyway, that's kind of what I think about people who are like lifestyle vloggers getting getting assistants to like help with creativity, because I'm like, just document your life, just tell us what you're doing, just do that. But I think she said that she's like struggling with like more creative, I don't really know, I don't know. I feel like if you're like a content creator, then that should just be something that you should have if you want to, or if you don't have it, you should work to have it. I don't know. It's like being a dog trainer and then having to like hire someone to actually train the dogs because you just like being around dogs but not necessarily training them. Do you know what I mean? But she has decided that she's going to bring back her big sisterly advice, which is what she used to do prior to like Lucasgate. And it's where like people, it's like an agony aunt really, like people like message in and ask her for like big sisterly advice, which is definitely a choice. I mean, she is going to have to sit through and wade through a hell of a lot of things, but I can imagine she's going to get her assistant to do it.
I'm just excited. I feel like I'm going to be able to execute on things that I've wanted to do but I wasn't set up for.
I'm happy that she feels like she's in less of a creative rut right now. I dread to think about just how many sponsors they're going to get through when we're talking about this wedding. I said this before and I'll say it again. This is going to be the most sponsored out wedding. This is going to be like, was it Michaela Noguera? Was that her where she had like, I think they're not together anymore. They're getting a divorce, but they had like that big wedding and they just had like loads of vendors and all of that because, you know, they're able to do that, and it actually got a lot of their wedding paid for, allegedly. Well, that's kind of what has happened with their engagement, and that's kind of what's going to happen with their wedding. It's actually very smart. Not something I would do, not something I would promote or suggest, because the minute you make something into entertainment that had any element of real and rawness to it, it becomes a show.
Love you, God. We just want to keep you at the center. Root us, God. And get pulled in different directions.
It becomes no longer real. But it will save them quite a lot of money. But that's pretty much it. That is like the updates of what's happening with Danielle Walter. I'm not gonna like sift through her engagement pictures because well and truly like I just don't care. They are pretty. We've already seen a lot of this. I'm interested in like the wedding planning, and I said it that I reckon they're going to get married within the next like 3 months, so that they would have been together a whole year before getting married. Also, that would mean that they'd have like a summer wedding. That's my bet. And I reckon that they're already planning stuff right now. Like, I think that she is filming so far in advance that no one is like quite aware of the timing of it all. Because she keeps on saying that she's like releasing content like slowly. I think that's what she's doing. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think about everything we've just chatted about? What do you think about Lucas being feral and like picking up women who are getting into his Uber? What do you guys think about that? I would absolutely love to know. Please let me know all your thoughts and feelings down in the comment section. So happy to be back. So happy to read all your lovely comments. I hope you guys have had a wonderful Easter so far. Have a happy Easter tomorrow. You're filming us on a Saturday. Hope you guys have a fantastic Easter weekend. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video.